Election, and joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman Robin Kelly of Illinois. She serves on the House Foreign Affairs and Oversight Committees. Congresswoman, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start with the news of these sanctions. 7 oligarchs sanctioned. You have 12 companies. There are 17 top government officials and allies of Putin. Do you support the Trump administration's move here?
Well, I think it's about time that he's done something, because it seems like he's been very lax when it comes to President Putin and Russia and the things they've done.
Okay, so it's welcome, but you feel like it's just too late? Do you feel like it's enough?
Well, I think that he's taken his time. I'm still very concerned about elections and the tampering and what they've done, not only in our country, but other countries also. So, yes, I think he's been slow to move.
The former National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, this week said the U.S. had failed to impose sufficient costs on Russia. Do you think that's still the case?
I have to see everything that he's doing, but again, I think he's been slow to act, and I would have to see if more should be done and could be done, which I tend to think there is more to be done.
I want to move now to talk about tariffs. As a congresswoman from Illinois, in the Midwest, you are familiar with the concerns. You're hearing the concerns from constituents and also, I'm sure, from other people in neighboring districts as well. You say that the back and forth with China will ultimately hurt your constituents. Illinois is a leading producer of soybeans, which is one of the goods that China is planning to make U.S. farmers pay tariffs on. What's really at stake here?
Agriculture is very, very, very important, not only to my district, but the state of Illinois. And we're already losing since earlier this week crop value, I think about $275 million. And we do a lot of business with China, over $1 billion, with our soybean, with our corn, over $50 million, and even in the auto industry, it will be a big problem. And Ford is actually my biggest employer. But I'm very concerned about my farmers. My district is urban, suburban, and rural, and I'm very, very concerned about what will happen with them.
What do you want the president to do? These aren't in effect at this point in time. There have been questions about whether there could be some sort of negotiation. What do you want to see happen?
Well, I'd like to see some diplomacy first, but also you have to have the right people in place to carry out that diplomacy. I'd like to see, if it should come to that, some sanctions, but also working through the World Trade Organization. We've had some successes there, and we've closed some loopholes, but I think to automatically jump to tariffs was not the right move, and many, many people feel like that in a bipartisan way, I might add.
And speaking of, the Republican senator from Nebraska, Ben Sasse, has said that as well. He said, hopefully the president is just blowing off steam again. But if he's even half serious, this is nuts. Let's absolutely take on Chinese bad behavior, but with a plan that punishes them instead of us. This is the dumbest possible way to do this. Do you think that having some bipartisan backing here is going to help your concerns be heard?
I think it will help, but, you know, the president seems to walk to the beat of his own drum, and he doesn't seem to listen to those who surround him. So it's hard to tell, but, of course, it's always better if it's bipartisan.
All right, Congresswoman Robin Kelly, we do appreciate you being with us. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you for having me.